There are moments in life when everything feels stuck. Your plans aren't working, your du'as feel unanswered, and doors that once seemed open suddenly slam shut. You try harder, pray deeper, and still nothing changes. It's frustrating, it's painful, and it makes you question, why is Allah delaying everything I want so badly? But what if that delay isn't rejection? What if it's redirection? In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful signs that Allah is not abandoning you, but lovingly redirecting you to something far better than what you imagined. These signs are subtle, yet deeply meaningful. And if you recognize them, your entire perspective on delay will shift. Because when Allah delays, it's not to harm you, it's to guide you toward what your soul truly needs. Doors close even. When you're doing everything right, there are times in life when you feel like you're doing everything right. You're praying on time, you're staying away from sins, you're being kind to others, you're trying your best to follow the path that pleases Allah. You wake up in the early hours of the night to speak to Allah, asking Him to open that one door for you, the job you've been waiting for, the opportunity that would change your life. You're hopeful and consistent, and yet nothing happens. The door you were sure would open just shuts right in front of your face. That moment leaves you broken. You sit silently and ask yourself, why is this happening? I was doing everything right. But what if that closed door wasn't rejection? What if it was protection? What if it was the softest mercy of Allah in disguise? When you truly believe in Allah, you begin to understand that He never closes a door out of cruelty. He only does so when that door would lead you to harm that you cannot see yet. The pain you're feeling now is temporary, but the damage that Allah is saving you from might have been long-lasting. And that is why He stops it before it can even begin. You see, life is not always about how much effort you put in. Effort is important, yes, and Allah loves the one who strives. But His plan doesn't run by human calculation. His wisdom is beyond what our minds can grasp. We look at the surface, the salary, the title, the appearance, the timing. But Allah sees what is hidden behind all that. He sees the betrayal you cannot detect. He sees the betrayal you cannot detect. He sees the heartbreak waiting down that road. He sees how your soul might break if you're given that thing too soon. So, instead of allowing you to fall, He lovingly pulls you away, no matter how tightly you try to hold on. The most powerful thing you can do when a door closes is to trust that something better is on the way, something that your heart will thank Allah for one day. When you remember the times in the past where you were denied something and later realized it was the best thing that could have happened to you, that's when your faith in Allah's plans grows stronger. What you thought was the perfect opportunity might have destroyed your peace. What you thought was your dream could have turned into a nightmare. And the one who loves you more than anyone else, Allah, chose to protect you from it, even if it hurt in the moment. This is not rejection. This is redirection. This is love from Allah that is not loud, but deep. This is how He gently writes a better story for you by removing chapters that don't deserve your presence. This is how He pulls you closer to your real path, the one that will bring barakah into your life. It might not make sense now, but every no that came from Allah was really a yes to something greater. You just have to wait to see it unfold. And while you wait, keep your heart soft. Keep your trust firm. Keep reminding yourself that Allah is never late and He never forgets His servant. When He closes a door, it's only because what's behind it wasn't meant to be part of your journey. So don't lose heart. Instead, thank Allah for loving you enough to protect you from what you cannot see. You keep getting pushed out of your comfort zone. Sometimes, everything in your life feels like it's being shaken. The people you relied on begin to change. The job you thought was stable starts falling apart. The place that once felt like home starts to feel distant. The routine you were used to is now unfamiliar. You try to hold on tightly, but Allah keeps moving things around you, gently pushing you away from what's familiar and into the unknown. This experience can feel overwhelming. You might feel scared, uncertain, and emotionally exhausted. You may even cry to Allah and ask, why is this happening now? The answer might not come in words, but it becomes clear through the changes around you. Allah is pushing you out of your comfort zone, not to harm you, but to grow you. He knows you've outgrown where you are. He knows that the place you are stuck in is limiting your potential, weakening your faith, and making you settle for less than you deserve. So, He lovingly moves you, sometimes with gentle shifts, sometimes with strong waves, all to take you where you truly belong. Allah sees greatness in you. He sees the strength in your heart, the light in your soul, and the potential you haven't yet discovered. But comfort zones are dangerous. They feel safe, but they stop you from blooming. They keep you in routines that may no longer serve your spiritual growth. When you're too comfortable, you forget to strive. You begin to accept mediocrity. You start relying too much on people and not enough on Allah. That's when Allah steps in, not to break you, but to rebuild you. The discomfort you're facing right now is not a sign that Allah has forgotten you. It's the opposite. It's a sign that He loves you deeply and wants more for you. He is shaking your life gently so you can wake up and walk into the next chapter of your story. You may not understand now, but later you'll look back and say, that difficulty was exactly what I needed to become who I was meant to be. Every time you lose something that made you feel secure, a job, a person, a lifestyle, remind yourself that it's a step toward a better place. Think about the prophets. Every single one of them was pushed out of comfort. In the same way, your life is being rearranged by Allah with purpose. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The people who left your life were meant to leave. The opportunities that faded were never meant to stay. The changes that make you uncomfortable are the very things that will elevate your soul. What feels like loss right now might actually be protection. What feels like an ending may be the start of something beautiful. When you feel like you're being pushed into unfamiliar places, take a deep breath and say to your heart, this is not a setback, this is a setup. Allah is placing you in situations that are necessary for your future. They may not make sense to you right now, but later you will realize that they were a gift in disguise. Your heart keeps losing peace in what you thought you wanted. There are moments in life when you pray deeply for something, you dream about it, you plan for it, you believe with all your heart that it's right for you. Whether it's a job, a person, a dream, or a path, you feel certain it will complete you. In the beginning, it feels exciting. Your heart is full of hope and energy. But as time passes, something strange happens. Your heart, once full of passion, begins to feel uneasy. The peace you had in chasing that goal starts to fade away. You begin to feel restless, tired, confused. This is one of the most powerful signs that Allah is redirecting you when your heart no longer feels at ease with what you once prayed for. At first, it can feel painful. You may question yourself. You might even blame yourself for feeling this way. You wonder, why am I no longer excited about this? I wanted this so much before. What changed? The truth is, nothing changed outside. The change is happening inside. Your heart is being reshaped by Allah. He is slowly removing your attachment to something that is no longer meant for you. And that removal is not always loud. It is silent, subtle, and deep. When Allah begins to take peace away from something you used to desire, it is not because He wants you to suffer. It is because He wants to guide you. He knows that if you continue chasing it, your heart might break more than it can handle. He knows that what looks good on the outside may not be good for your soul. So He speaks to you through your heart, not through words, but through unease. This shift is a gift. It is Allah's way of gently pulling you away from something that was not written for you. And when your heart starts to feel tired, drained, and heavy in the presence of that dream, it is your sign to pause, reflect, and reconnect with Allah. It's a sign to let go, not out of weakness, but out of trust, because you know that Allah never takes anything from your heart without replacing it with something better. We often think that if we want something badly enough, we should keep chasing it, but Islam teaches us something more beautiful. It teaches us to trust the signs Allah sends to our heart. And one of the most powerful signs is the loss of peace. Peace is not something you can force. It's not something that comes from people or plans. True peace is a gift from Allah, and when He removes it from a certain path, it is because He wants you to turn around, not to be lost, but to be saved. We must learn to listen to that inner call. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're surrendering to the one who knows what's best for you. And sometimes, letting go of what you thought you wanted is the first step to receiving what you truly need. It takes courage to walk away from what you once prayed for. But that courage is a sign of faith. It means you've reached a level where your trust in Allah is stronger than your attachment to the world. It means you believe that the author of your story knows how to write a better ending than the one you imagined. So, if your heart is no longer at peace with something you once wanted, take a deep breath. Sit in quiet reflection and gently let it go. Know that you are not walking away from your dream. You are walking toward the dream that Allah has chosen for you, and His plan is always better. Your dua changes over time without you realizing it. There is something beautiful that happens in silence when you sit alone, raise your hands, and speak to Allah. You cry, you whisper your dreams, you beg for something you want so badly, and your heart holds on tightly to that dua. In those moments, it feels like nothing else matters except receiving that one thing you're asking for. But then, time passes, life changes, and something strange begins to happen. You notice your duas are no longer the same. What you used to cry for doesn't feel as urgent anymore. What once seemed like everything is now just a distant memory. You find yourself asking for different things now, things you never expected. And sometimes you don't even realize this change has happened until one day you look back and think, I used to want that so much. What happened? This is one of the most powerful signs that Allah is redirecting you. When your heart quietly moves away from what it used to desire, when your tongue begins to ask for something new, when your soul is pulled in a different direction, this is not random. This is not confusion. This is guidance. It is a soft, silent transformation taking place deep within you, shaped by the wisdom and mercy of Allah. You may have thought that delay meant Allah wasn't listening, but in truth, while you waited, He was working, not on the outside, but within your heart. The delay wasn't empty. It was filled with divine lessons, quiet shifts, and gentle redirection. It wasn't that your dua was ignored. It was that your soul was growing, so much that what you wanted before no longer matched who you are becoming. This is a sign that your soul is moving closer to what is truly written for you. Because when Allah delays something, it's not always because you are not ready for it. Sometimes the thing you are asking for is not ready for you. Or even more beautifully, you are being guided to ask for something far greater, something that matches the purity and growth of your heart. You might have asked Allah for a specific job, but now you're asking for peace. You might have begged for a certain person, but now you're asking for someone who brings you closer to Jannah. You may have prayed for worldly success, but now your heart wants success in both this life and the next. That quiet shift in your dua is not weakness, it's strength. It shows maturity, surrender, and trust in the wisdom of Allah. Sometimes what we want isn't wrong, but it's not the best for us, and we don't always have the strength to let go. So Allah helps us, not by force, but by gradually changing the direction of our heart. He rewrites the desires inside of us so we can walk toward the destination He chose with love, not struggle. It's a gentle redirection, a mercy only Allah can provide. Think of the times you were so sure you knew what you needed. Think of the times you thought something was perfect for you. But now, looking back, you realize that if you had gotten what you wanted, you wouldn't be where you are today. That realization is not a coincidence. It's Allah showing you that His delay was actually His protection and guidance. When your dua changes over time, it's a sign that your soul is healing. It's a sign that you are trusting Allah more than you trust your own plans. It means you've stopped trying to control everything and started to believe that whatever Allah has planned for you will come, and it will be better than what you could ever imagine. So the next time you realize that your dua has changed, smile. Because it means you're evolving, you're growing, you're aligning your heart with something better. And most importantly, it means that Allah is still guiding you. You experience repeated failures. Before a major shift, there are seasons in life when it feels like no matter how hard you try, you keep falling. You put your heart into something and it breaks. You chase opportunities and they slip away. You give your best, yet you fail again and again. Each failure feels heavier than the last. Each rejection feels more painful. At some point, you begin to wonder if you're cursed, forgotten, or just not good enough. But the truth is, repeated failure is not always a sign of weakness. Sometimes, it's one of the clearest signs that Allah is preparing you for something greater. Failure is hard. It shakes your confidence and can make you doubt yourself, but it also softens your heart. It humbles your soul. It makes you turn to Allah with a kind of sincerity that success never brings. You start asking, begging, crying. You stop relying on your plans and start depending on Allah alone. And that deep dependence is where transformation begins. When you experience failure after failure, it doesn't mean you are being punished. It means you are being refined. Allah is removing the layers of pride, ego, and self-reliance, not to destroy you, but to rebuild you from the inside out. Every disappointment, every closed door, every broken plan, it all plays a role in shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. Think of how a seed must break before it grows. Think of how the night must come before the sunrise. Think of how a storm must hit before the sky clears. Your repeated failures are not the end. They are the beginning of something big, a major shift, a new chapter, a change that will carry meaning and mercy beyond what you can imagine right now. Sometimes Allah allows everything to fall apart, so you will finally surrender fully to Him. And when you reach that moment of surrender, you begin to see what the failures were leading you toward. You realize that the things you lost were not meant to harm you. They were meant to teach you, to prepare you, to purify you. Allah never wastes your pain. Every failure is recorded, every effort is seen, every tear is noticed, and behind each one there is a wisdom you may not understand today, but one day you will. These aren't just stories. They are reminders that failure does not mean the end. It means you're in the process of becoming. You're in the middle of something that Allah is shaping with divine hands. And sometimes that shaping requires you to fall so you can rise in a way you never could before. So if you find yourself failing again and again, don't give up. Don't walk away. Don't think that Allah has turned away from you. In fact, these repeated failures may be a sign that you are incredibly close to a major breakthrough. The bigger the shift, the deeper the preparation. And Allah only tests those whom He wants to elevate. Hold tightly to your faith. Remind yourself that the delay is not denial. The pain is not pointless. You are not being broken, you are being built. Sometimes, what feels like a delay is really a blessing in disguise, a divine pause, so your soul can grow, your heart can mature, and your destiny can align with what Allah knows is best for you. The journey may feel long, the prayers may feel silent, but remember, Allah never ignores the sincere cries of a believer. He simply answers in the most perfect way and at the most perfect time. So if you're in a season of waiting, hold on to faith. Keep walking, keep trusting, because what's coming from Allah will be better than anything you could ever imagine.